It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green Things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. This is the first of two semifinals in our elementary school competition, and we're featuring two schools today, Bond Mill and University Park. And Science Bowl looks different than it has in all the past 34 years. We're coming to you today on Zoom because, of course, we're shut down, and because of COVID-19, we want all of our students to be safe at home. That's where they are right now. And let's meet the first of our teams. They're up there right now, the students from Bond Mill. And you can wave as I introduce you. Gathasia, wave to everybody. Kelvin is here. Kelvin, welcome to the program. And Oliver is here as well. All right. What's going to happen is instead of the students picking from our typical board, we're going to be giving categories, and again, we'll be giving questions, 3 questions in each category. Let's tell you right now, if you're new to the game, what our categories are.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green Things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body Systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's Get Physical, questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
We start our teams out at 50 points apiece, and again, for this special circumstance, the teams will be asking for categories. They will not be asking for categories or points. I will be giving them their first 9 questions. We'll take a break and we'll bring them back later in the program after we meet and play with the University Park team. All right, guys, are you ready? Let's do it. All right, here are your Green Things questions. First one, 5-point question. What non-fruiting trees, despite their name, usually hit their peak bloom at DC's tidal basin in late March?
I think it's cherry blossom.
I think it's cherry blossoms.
You got that right. Cherry blossom it is, those cherry trees. It makes you think they're fruits, but they do not fruit. Here's your 15-point question in Green Things. The daily pollen count. This is allergy season. A lot of us are sneezing and we've got runny eyes. The paper often lists the pollen count for trees, grasses, mold, and these plants, sometimes called plants that are out of place.
Weeds.
Weeds.
Who said weeds?
Kelvin.
Calvin. That's the way to do it, young man. Perfect. Got yourself 15 more points. Now here's your 25-point question in Green Things. Since magnolia trees came onto Earth before bees did, their flowers lack what 2 attractants that would get bees to come to them to pollinate?
Pollen and nectar.
Not pollen and nectar, not pollen and nectar. Good try. The 2 attractants would be color and aroma. That's what attracts the bees. So magnolias are pollinated by beetles instead of bees. Good try there, Oliver. All right, you're doing fine. Let's move on to your Zoo Parade questions. Let's go to the zoo. Here's your 5-point question, teams, and we have a picture to go with this question. Prairie dogs, like you see here, they do bark, but they're not dogs. They belong instead to what order of mammals?
Rodents.
You bet. They are members of Rodentia. They are rodents. Indeed. You're doing well. Here's your 15-point question in Zoo Parade. You know, another way of saying that we are isolating ourselves during this pandemic is to compare us to being inside what structure that butterflies form during their metamorphosis.
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis, absolutely. And I would have accepted cocoon as well, Gathasia. Nice answer. Last question for you in the Zoo Parade category, worth 25 points. While prey animals like zebras and rabbits have eyes on the side of their head, predators like ourselves, and lions and bears, have our eyes in the front in order to give us better B initial vision. What does that B initial vision, what am I talking about? Calvin.
Bioptical.
Oh, you're so close. Binocular. Binocular. That's probably what you were trying to say. Good try. Good try. You'll get them next time. All right, let's do 3 more questions before we talk to you about yourselves and your schools. Here's your body systems question for 5 points. This is kind of nice. It is said that these packets of facial pigment are caused when angels kiss you while you sleep. Any idea?
Blushing?
Not blushing.
Birthmarks. Birthmarks.
Not birth. Oh, you're closer. Freckles. Freckles appear on your face because those angels have kissed you at night. Not a bet, and I like that story. Here's your 15-point question in body systems. It was said that Groot, the tree-like creature in Guardians of the Galaxy, was hard to understand because of stiffness in his voice box. The voice box is also known as this organ.
The larynx.
The larynx or larynx. Good answer. You got yourself 15 points. Last question in this opening round here on your semifinal match. Basketball superstar Steph Curry was sidelined recently because he had broken one of his metacarpals. Where in your body do you find metacarpals?
The fingers.
Fingers or your hands. Absolutely right. You've got the carpals, the metacarpals, and the phalanges. That gets you 25 points too. And that's the end of the round for Bond Mill. That takes them to 130 points. You guys, give yourselves a round of applause. You're doing good out there in your homes. Let's find out a little bit about you and your schools. Let's go to Gathasia, who is the captain of the team. And Gathasia, could you tell us a little bit about your school? Who's your principal?
Miss Galladay.
Miss Galladay, yes. And I know she is out there. She is rooting for you today. And your coach is here today, isn't she? Who's she?
Miss Lally.
Miss Lally. And I know you're trying especially hard today because she is retiring in just a couple of months' time. And she has been at that school for over 20 years. And I know how much you appreciate here and how hard that she has worked to get you ready for today. Any alternates on your team, Gathasia?
Yes, Bilal and Brandon.
And we'll bring them up at the end of the program here. Tell me about your school. What do you like about Bond Mill?
I like that we always get to learn something new every day, and school is always very fun.
Boy, if school isn't fun, why bother? And you're a wonderful student. You're a wonderful advertisement for Bond Mill and its scholars that are out there. What do you want to do someday, Gathasia?
I want to become a zoologist.
Oh, so that's why you knew your zoo parade questions so well. You have pets? Do you have any pets at home?
No.
No, you need some pets. You know, a zoologist needs some pets to take care of. Nice to have you here today. Let's go over to Oliver. Oliver, how you doing?
Good.
Good. What are you doing while you're staying home? I know you're keeping up with your lessons. What do you do to keep yourself occupied? Because there's a lot of time on our hands right now.
Sometimes play with my siblings and watch TV.
Watch TV. Do you have any favorite TV shows, Oliver?
Not really.
You know, the good answer there would have been Science Bowl, but we're going to let you slide on that. What do you want to do someday, young man?
I want to be an entomologist.
Okay, so do you have any insect collections at home?
Mm-mm.
No, but well, hopefully you've got a nice insect guide and you can go out, and because there are more insects out there than have classified the most abundant group of creatures on Earth. All right, let's go to Kelvin. Kelvin, tell us about yourself. What have you been doing in your spare time? We have a lot of spare time these days.
I play video games and I read, and then I play with my dog sometimes.
Yeah. What kind of dog you have?
She's border collie. We don't know what else she's mixed with.
What's your dog's name?
Cotton.
Got it. All right. So we have an entomologist. We have a potential zoologist. What do you want to do?
I want to be an electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer. So you're into the STEM subjects as well. You're an excellent player, Kelvin, and it's good to have you on the program here. We now move to the team from University Park, and we invite you to play along too. Hopefully you're trying to answer these questions at home, and even though our students can't hear you, I hope you're applauding for them out there as well. Let's meet today's team. First of all, let's meet our players. Where is Victoria? Victoria, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Victoria, nice to have you on the program today. And we have Milana. Milana is here, Milana Bell. Hi, Milana.
Hi.
It's Victoria Hollidge, and our captain is Max Nelkin. Hey, Max.
Hey.
You're faking us out here. You've got the Science Bowl background in Becky, even though you're not here. So we like that touch. All right. Again, same thing. I'm going to ask you 9 questions, 3 each from Green Things, Zoo Parade, and Body Systems. There'll be 5, 15, and 25-point value questions. And let's begin. Here we go. And you can talk to each other. Please consult before you come up with an answer. Here's your first Green Thing question worth 5 points. One of America's oldest cereals was and is still known as cream of this grain that we normally associate with gluten.
Wheat.
Wheat. That's it. Cream of wheat. Yes, it's a hot cereal. Next, for 15 points in Green Things, we have a picture for you for this question. Some of you may remember the terrible fires that took place in Australia, killed so many species like the koala. Well, there's some hope. Growing out of the bark, you see something called epicormic growth. You can see the leaves on there, meaning now these trees are able to make food once again through what process?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. You got it. Well done. Next, a math type question. The number of petals on a flower. This is your 25-point question in Green Things. The number of petals on a flower follows something called a Fibonacci sequence. Lilacs have 3 petals. Buttercups have 5. Delphinium have 8. Marigolds have 13. And asters have how many? The sequence is 3, 5, 8, 13. For 25 points, what's that last number? Any idea?
15.
Not 15. You keep adding them together. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 8 plus 13 is 21 was the right answer there. Tough question. Let's move on to Zoo Parade. All right. The answer to this 5-point question, Zoo Parade, is a bird with 3 syllables in its name, and the bird's name rhymes with the last 2 words I'm about to say. What a wonderful bird is this one. His bill can hold more than his belly can.
Pelican.
Pelican, that's right. Good answer, Victoria. Here's your 15-point question in Zoo Parade. Charles Darwin's last book was titled Formation of Vegetative Mounds by these segmented wrigglers that move a lot of dirt and actually help to catch a lot of fish.
Worms.
Worms, that's it. Got it. 25-point question. Another tough one coming up. Dr. Jack Randall died recently. They called him Dr. Fish because in his lifetime as a taxonomist, he named 800 different species of fish. I'll give you 25 points if you can give me what initialed specialty is devoted to studying fish.
Ichthyology.
Ichthyology is right. Perfect answer. Got yourself 25 points. Body systems. Here are your 3 questions. 5 points. You know, it is said that nasty name calling is supposed to leave you unharmed, but sticks and stones are said to break these body parts.
Bones.
Bones. Sticks and stones will break your bones. 15-point question in body systems. A child suffering from pediatric narcolepsy will do this in the middle of the day.
Fall asleep.
Fall asleep. Narcolepsy is falling asleep sometime during the day. Well done. All right, 25-point question, last one for you before we talk to you about yourselves and your schools. You're doing fine. Diseases like COVID-19 often kill because your body's immune system overreacts and produces too much of this I-initialed condition. What you think, guys? We've been hearing about it a lot. It is inflammation, and that is what causes so many problems. All right, that brings University Park to the end of the round, and they now have 135 points. 3 great young people playing here for a school that has won 7 county championships. Actually, they're looking for number 7. They've got 6 of them already, but they have been in the winner's circle many times. Let's find out about our players. Max, tell us about your school. Who's your principal?
Ms. Davis.
Miss Davis, that's right. And I know how excited she is to have you here today. And your coach, Mr. Favero, has been with Science Bowl for many, many years. We thank him as well as thanking Tracy out there at Bond Mill. And y'all wear matching shirts all the time. What does it say this time?
It says UPES Science Bowl, and it has an eagle holding the Erlenmeyer flask.
Oh, I like that. I like that's a nice touch there. Max, do you have any alternates on your team?
Yes. My apologies if I miss any of them because we have a lot. But we have Graydon, Rohan, Jorge, and Caroline. I think. Oh, and Simone.
And so you got them all without notes there or a teleprompter. I'm impressed, young man. Tell me what you like about University Park. There's a lot to like there.
Well, I like how we are still going even with the coronavirus, with the Zoom calls, and I'm still learning a lot even though I'm at home.
What a great thing to say. That's just what we want to hear, because so much effort is being made to keep up school, even though we're not in the buildings themselves. What do you want to do someday, Max?
Well, my career is a bit split right now, but either zoologist or computer scientist.
Well, you'll be successful, whatever one you choose. You've got a lot of schooling ahead of you, and you're such a great player. Let's talk to Milana. Milana, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. And I see you've got a Science Bowl shirt on as well. Let me ask you, what do you like about this game?
I like that we get to learn something new in each question, and every time you ask a question, we all get together and talk about our ideas.
That's right, because life is all about sharing ideas. The era of one person doing something and discovering something is long gone, and you guys play together so well. What do you hope to do someday, Milana?
I want to be a cardiologist.
Why so?
Because I've always been interested in the heart, and ever since I was young, I always wanted to become a cardiologist because I was always interested in the heart and how it works.
It's an amazing organ, isn't it? I mean, it never takes a break. As long as we live, it has to keep working. It never gets tired. So it is remarkable. You're going to be successful at that too, young lady. And where is Victoria? Victoria, what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied during a lot of these long days here? I know you've been studying. It's obvious you've been studying, but what else do you do?
I have been reading, and I have been researching coding, my favorite subject.
Yeah, that's great. Would you like to be a professional coder someday?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, it seems to be one of the favorite professions du jour. Everybody is into that because so much of the world is going in that direction. All right, you're playing a good game as well. All right, well, we will be back in just a moment for the second half of our program. Don't go away because each team has 9 more questions each. It's a close game, 135 for University Park, 130 for Bond Mill. Great semifinal. See you in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. How are you doing? You keeping up with these talented young people here? Yes, they're vying for the chance to get to the championship of this year's Science Bowl, Elementary Science Bowl. And just by being here today, all of our semifinalists are going to be taking home medals. We have medals for our eventual champion and our runner-up. And just like at the Olympics, we have bronze and silver and gold medals. And on the back, it testifies to their participation in these elite games. Here on the front are a lot of icons representing science. You can see a space shuttle on there and a flask. And we've got this wonderful lanyard here with red, white, and blue to let them know they did something significant here in their young lives. All right, Bond Mill, we're back. You have 9 more questions, 3 more categories. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's show some enthusiasm. You're doing really well so far. Here we go. This is Let's Get Physical for 5 points. It would seem that this speed is always on cruise control, never slowing from 186,000 miles per second. What speed are we talking about?
Light speed?
Yeah, light speed.
Speed of light, absolutely right. For 15 points in Let's Get Physical. You know, besides infrared and ultraviolet and X-rays and visible light, probably the best known radiation on the electromagnetic spectrum is this one that we find in our kitchens to nuke our food?
Radiation? No, gamma.
Not gamma, microwaves. Microwaves is what we're looking for there. Here's a 25-point question. The maglev train, you might have read about it. It possibly is coming here to Maryland, and it can take you from Washington to Baltimore in maybe 15 minutes. So it's going to be super fast. It operates, as its name suggests, maglev, by magnetic what?
Levitation.
A magnetic levitation.
Levitation. You got it for 25 points. That's the way to do it. Good answer. All right, let's move on to your 3 science potpourri questions. Here's your one for 5 points. The coronavirus is so named because its outer membrane looks like it is covered with tiny versions of what royal objects?
Crowns.
Crowns. They look like little crowns on there. Insidious thing, huh? Making it look like it's somehow part of royalty. For 15 points in potpourri. The normal body temperature of a possum is so low that the virus causing this disease can survive, a disease that's often spread by the bite of dogs and bats.
Rabies.
Rabies. Oh, I heard that in triplicate. I like that. Here's your 25-point question. You also have to spell this answer, so listen carefully. Scientists think that the lost continent of Atlantis was destroyed by an earthquake. Too bad the Atlantans did not have one of these instruments to warn them. I need the name of the instrument, and I'll want someone to spell it for me for 25 points. First of all, what is the instrument?
Instrument to warn.
Talking about earthquakes here.
Anemometer.
Correct answer is a seismograph. A seismograph. You can see all of those tracings when it happens. SEISMOGRAPH. All right, no points there, but you're still doing well in this round. All right, one more round here. You have 3 more questions. Hang with me here. This is in Dateline Science. Your first question is a visual. The Horizon spacecraft discovered that this celestial object that still warms our hearts, even though it was kicked out, has itself an icy heart of frozen nitrogen.
Pluto.
Pluto.
Yeah, that is Pluto. There's a move afoot to get it back in the planetary family, too. Dateline for 15 points. If enough people get vaccinated against a virus, the entire population is said to have this kind of protection that includes a collective noun usually reserved for a group of cows.
Herd. Herd.
And
Say more.
Herd. Herd.
They get what kind of protection? Herd what?
Herd protection.
Immunity. Herd immunity is what we were looking for there. Last question for you for 25 points. A Virginia teenager, not much older than you guys, recently won NASA's naming contest to name the next Mars rover. The winning name? This P initial term that also I want you to spell. New Mars rover's name begins with a P. This kid won
Perseus?
a lot. What's that?
Perseus?
Oh, that's a good, I bet that name was one of the suggestions there, Kelvin. The name was Perseverance. 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 All right, that means that Bond Mill ends up with 185 points. We'll be right back with that team from University Park for their final 9 questions. Right back. Welcome back, everybody. This is it. We headed to the finale, the last 9 questions for our University Park team. Questions from Let's Get Physical, Science Potpourri, and Dateline. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Victoria, you don't look too happy out there. You're doing well. I hope you're enjoying this. I know it's a lot of pressure and tension out there, but hey, you're doing really fine. Here's your Let's Get Physical questions. First one for 5 points. You know, the atomic model devised by Ernest Rutherford contains protons and electrons, and this one that this character Jimmy uses in his cartoon.
Neutrons.
Neutron. Jimmy Neutron is right. Here's your 15-point question. Alice might have looked through the looking glass,
But Isaac Newton looked through one of these and saw a rainbow of colors.
A prism?
A prism, that's it, good. And last question for you in this round. Since enzymes can speed up a chemical reaction but are themselves not affected, they are known by this C initialed name that I want you to spell. They are catalysts. Catalysts, C-A-T-A-L-Y-S-T. All right, let's move to the Science Potpourri category, and I have another picture for you. This is for your 5-point question. In Science Potpourri, you know, we were talking earlier in the program about those terrible forest fires in Australia. A lot of koalas died. Well, many of them were rescued, and some of them are in zoos. Zookeepers in Australia don't mind cleaning a koala's litter box. It smells so good because koalas only eat what aromatic E initialed leaves?
Eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah, that's what they are. And they're picky too. They're toxic and their digestive system can somehow detoxify that. More power to them. Good answer for 15 points in Science Potpourri. Today, everyone is clamoring for more PPEs, especially medical professionals, because of the coronavirus. I'll give you 15 points if you can tell me what PPE stands for.
Protective personal equipment.
Yes, personal protective equipment. Those P's are interchangeable. Nicely done. And for 25 points, big one in this category of Science Potpourri. Actress Miranda Cosgrove has a new TV series for girls called Mission Unstoppable, trying to get girls interested in STEM subjects. Recently, a girl used a 3D printer to design a prosthetic for a person who had lost a limb. I'll give you 25 points if you can give me the A initial term for a person who has lost an arm or a leg.
Anesthesic.
Again, please.
Anesthesic.
I'm not hearing that. It's an amputee. Amputee.
I was thinking of it, but...
You were thinking of it, yes. That was a hard question. All right, just 3 more questions for you at University Park, just 3 more. Hang in there, you're doing great. Dateline Science for 5 points. To ensure that you wash your hands vigorously enough, the CDC advises you to sing 2 verses of what popular song before you stop scrubbing?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, that's it, for 15 points. Dr. William Morton is thought to be the first surgeon to use this method of putting people to sleep during an operation.
Sedative?
Not sensitive. Anesthesia. Anesthesia. First one to use anesthesia. And for 25 points in Dateline, last question for you in the game. While Yuri Gagarin was the first Russian to orbit the Earth, what man was the first American to orbit the Earth? His name was John Glenn. John Glenn.
And that's the end of the round for University Park, and their point total is 180. And we will be right back with everybody, coaches, alternates, and players, and our wrap-up to tell you who's going on to the championship. Well, we made some history here today. First time ever, Science Bowl on Zoom, and what a great game. It was very competitive, just a 5-point difference. Our final tally today is University Park 180 and Bond Mill 185. That means Bond Mill is going on to the championship match, and I know Tracy is very happy about that because of her impending retirement here. They did it for you. Let's give a nice round of applause to that team from Bond Mill. Everybody clap. Everybody clap. Thank you. All the people there from Bond Mill, Gathasia, would you wave to us? And Kelvin, and Oliver, and Bilal, and Brandon, and Tracy, and Ursula Galladay is here. I know how happy she is. That's the principal at Bond Mill. And over there at University Park, a nice round of applause for that team as well. They are amazing competitors. There is Jeff Favero. Jeff waved everybody. Max, wave if you would, in Victoria, and Milana, and Rohan, and Graydon Zachary. So good to have you all here today, and we hope you all enjoyed this game, and join us also for the next semifinal, Beacon Heights versus Whitehall, and the championship. Hope you had a good time today. I'm Dave Zarin. I'll see you next time. Everybody, let's wave goodbye.